Ibrahim Traoré is the youngest president in Africa, but what he has achieved in just 3 years is nothing short of revolutionary. We're talking about achievements that leaders with decades in power haven't even dreamed of attempting. His name is Ibrahim Traoré. It might sound like an ordinary name to you, but in the boardrooms of Paris, in the conference halls of Washington, and in the corporate towers of London, that name is causing absolute panic. And right now, I'm going to show you exactly why. We are diving deep into 5 factories Traoré's government has launched in Burkina Faso. Most of these are already operational, already producing, already transforming the country. But this is not your average industrial tour. Pay very close attention. The 4th and 5th factories on this list, they're different. They're dangerous. Why? Because every single African president who tried to build them was eliminated, assassinated, removed from power. So what trick is Traoré using? How is he still standing when others fell? And more importantly, how much trust should we really have in any of it? You are going to want to stay with us until the very end to understand this game he's playing. Let's get into it. Ibrahim Traoré understood something very early on, something that most African leaders either don't know or are too afraid to act on. A country can never truly develop, never truly stand on its own feet, if it doesn't produce its own basic necessities. And one of the most fundamental necessities, the backbone of any nation's infrastructure, is cement. Think about it for a moment. The richest man in all of Africa, Aliko Dangote, how did he build his staggering fortune? A fortune estimated at over $30 billion. It wasn't just oil. It wasn't just telecommunications. It wasn't just diversification. It was cement. Dangote understood that whoever controls cement controls construction, and whoever controls construction controls development. Burkina Faso realized they would never implement their infrastructure projects, never truly build their future if they had to import the very foundation of construction from foreign countries. This might sound basic to some of you, but you cannot build a nation without it. Your roads, your hospitals, your schools, your government buildings, nothing gets built without cement. Traoré understood this secret, and he made his move swiftly. In March 2025, this factory was officially inaugurated, the Sino-Burkinabe Industrial Cement Company, known as Sisinobi. This was not a small project. This was not some symbolic gesture for political points. This was a $42 million partnership built with Chinese technology and Burkinabe determination, and it is already working. Right now, as I speak to you, it's pumping out 750,000 tons of cement per year. That's over 2,000 tons every single day, and they're not even done. The plan is to boost that production to 1.2 million tons annually. This one factory is already creating 110 permanent jobs and 300 temporary ones. But this isn't just about jobs. This is about sovereignty. This is about supporting every other industry in the country. It's about rebuilding Burkina Faso on its own terms and erasing that old colonial dependency one bag of cement at a time. Traoré looked far ahead. He knew that to truly move the economy forward, you start with the most essential industries. The kind of industry that doesn't just rise by itself, it makes the entire country rise with it. It's the same logic that made one of the richest men in the world, Elon Musk, a billionaire. I'm talking about automobiles. Since Carl Benz first rolled one out in 1885, the car has been the ultimate symbol of national power and industrial sophistication. Look around the world. The richest countries, the most developed nations, Germany, America, Japan, South Korea, are also the ones that produce the best cars. It's simple mathematics. To be a strong, truly developed country, you must invest in the automobile industry. And in 2024, Traoré showed the world he had not only discovered this secret, but implemented it in a way that shocked everyone. Consider this carefully. Burkina Faso, with a population of 24 million people, was importing over 60,000 cars every single year. And here's the part that should make your blood boil. More than 90% of those cars were used cars, second-hand vehicles dumped in Ouagadougou after being driven for years in Europe and America. This is colonial-era dependency in its purest form, bought at an unreasonable cost, draining the national treasury year after year. So Traoré's government did the only logical thing. They built their own car factory. But they didn't just build any car. They didn't settle for copying outdated technology. They built electric vehicles, EVs. This factory is called Idawa, named after an area right in Ouagadougou. And here is the most surprising part, the part that makes this truly revolutionary. Idawa is 100% owned by Burkina Faso. Understand this clearly. This is not some foreign company like Volkswagen investing in Rwanda and calling it African development. This is not Tesla opening an assembly plant and claiming partnership. This is a brand created by Burkina Faso, for Burkina Faso, financed by Burkina Faso Capital. This is a shining example of true self-reliance. As you can see from the images, Idawa already has two models in production, one called the Native and the other called the Sahel. The Sahel was their first model, named deliberately to represent the broader region and their new alliance with countries like Niger and Mali. Their logo is a horse's head, the same animal that appears in the country's national emblem. It is a symbol of forward motion, of power, of independence. These cars are not toys. They are not golf carts. They have the capacity to travel 330 kilometers before needing power after being charged for just 30 minutes. When you look at the design, these are genuinely good cars. They have the sleek aesthetics and the kinds of digital screens we see on the roads in Nairobi and Johannesburg. These vehicles are designed and assembled by skilled Burkina Faso engineers for their own citizens. You can even see the Burkina Faso license plates on these vehicles in the promotional materials. This kind of development has already started drawing the diaspora back home. We have seen people like this individual who was studying automotive engineering in Turkey who came straight back after hearing about this EV opportunity to start a local ride-sharing company, one we can compare to Move in Rwanda or just call it Uber for Burkina Faso. Listen to what he says. Where were you before? I was in Turkey before, studying. And why did you come back? I saw the opportunity. I saw that we have a great president that is encouraging young businesses, young entrepreneurs. So I decided just like that to come back and invest in my country. Now let's be honest here. Manufacturing cars is expensive. Manufacturing electric ones is even more expensive. To be completely transparent with you, Burkina Faso did not achieve this instantly or start from absolute zero. They were strategic. They were smart. They began with Chinese technology and partnerships, which means most of the work currently happening is assembly rather than full manufacturing. But that is a strategic starting point, not a weakness. China leads the entire world in modern EV technology. By assembling these cars at home, by training their engineers, by building the infrastructure, Burkina Faso is quickly gaining the technical knowledge and industrial capability to fully manufacture them independently down the road. This is how Japan started. This is how South Korea started. And this is how Burkina Faso is starting. Before we reach those two extreme projects, those dangerous initiatives that are quite frankly making people in the West want to eliminate Traoré, let's look at one more example of genius-level nation building. Take a look at this. Burkina Faso has always been a major player in African agriculture, particularly in tomato production. They harvested up to 313,000 tons of tomatoes in 2022 alone. This made them the fourth largest producer in all of West Africa. But here was the devastating problem. They harvested so much that most of it went to waste. Before Traoré, this was just an inevitable disaster that happened every season. A spoiled harvest meant a ruined income for farmers. Tons of tomatoes rotting in the fields because there was no capacity to process them, no infrastructure to preserve them, no system to add value. Captain Ibrahim Traoré refused to see this as an unsolvable problem. He saw an opportunity for sovereignty, for value addition, for economic transformation. His lasting solution was to build processing plants inside the country so farmers would never again lose their harvest to spoilage and could even create a surplus for the domestic and international market. He launched 2 massive tomato processing factories, and a third is already being built. One is called Société Faso Tomates, or Sofato. The other is located in the town of Bobo Dioulasso. To be clear, these are serious industrial ventures, with each factory costing at least $8 million to complete. And here is the best part of this story, the part that proves this is genuine development. These factories were built by Burkina Faso, 100%. The founders themselves testify to this in interviews. 100% owned, founded by the people of Burkina Faso from inside the country and from abroad in the diaspora. What do you mean by 100%? 100%. Burkina Faso capital, Burkina Faso ownership, Burkina Faso management. These facilities are already operational, providing immediate employment for more than 150 people directly and benefiting tens of thousands of local farmers indirectly. You can even see Traoré himself out in the tomato farms, emphasizing what he calls the agricultural offensive. Beyond tomatoes, this principle of self-sufficiency extends to dairy. They have a milk processing factory called Fasokasum in the capital, and they are planning 3 more facilities soon. In short, Burkina Faso is transforming itself from a resource exporter into a manufacturing nation and becoming an example for the entire continent. But you have not seen anything yet. The next 2 projects are the ones that could genuinely cost this young leader his life. Before we jump into that dangerous territory, let me remind you of something important. If you've enjoyed this incredible journey so far, if you're learning things the mainstream media will never tell you, please hit the like button right now. And if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can easily receive more extraordinary content like this. We are building a community that understands what's really happening in Africa, and we want you to be part of it. We told you from the very beginning that 2 projects are so alarming, so threatening to Western interests, they could cost Traoré everything. The first one is nuclear energy. How did they even plan this? Back in 2023, Burkina Faso signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Russian State Atomic Energy Corporation, Rosatom. The long-term plan is nothing less than the construction of a nuclear power plant on Burkina Faso soil. Because this project raises such extreme concern in Western capitals, very few details have been publicly disclosed. Not the specific location, not the full capacity, not the exact timeline. Everything is being kept under tight security. Here is exactly why this project absolutely terrifies the Americans and the Europeans. The first reason is that this is being done by Russians. Russia, under Putin's leadership, is aggressively moving to dominate the global nuclear energy market, and they're starting right here, in Africa. Every contract Rosatom wins is a strategic victory for Russia and a deep frustration for the West, who then turn their anger and their resources against those African leaders who contributed to those Russian victories. Here, I'm talking directly about Traoré. The second reason is even more chilling. It's the terrifying possibility of dual use. Nuclear energy technology can potentially be used to manufacture nuclear weapons using enriched uranium-235. While the chances of Burkina Faso actually producing weapons are extremely low, very low, it remains among the theoretical possibilities. The country most frequently accused of starting a project for peaceful energy and later weaponizing it is Iran. This is exactly why whenever Russia helps an African nation with nuclear technology, Western intelligence agencies become alarmed. This is the ultimate geopolitical chess move, and it puts Traoré directly in the crosshairs of Western destabilization efforts. But the final project, the one that directly disturbs international financial powers, is the project of processing gold domestically in Burkina Faso. This country is a gold giant, an absolute powerhouse in precious metal production. They mined approximately 60 tons in 2024 alone, consistently making Burkina Faso a top 5 gold producer in all of Africa. But here's what should infuriate you. All of that gold, every single ounce of it, used to be exported unprocessed, raw, at basement prices to European refineries. Traoré does not accept this. He refuses to accept this colonial arrangement. Instead, at the end of 2023, he laid the foundation stone for the country's first national gold refinery, a factory that will process this gold locally, add value to it, before it is exported at premium prices. The result of this one factory will be transformative. It will drastically increase the value of Burkina Faso's gold exports, create massive employment opportunities for skilled workers, and provide enormous relief to the national economy. This factory, built in partnership with the local mining company Marina Gold, will have the capacity to process around 150 tons of gold per year. Here is exactly why this is viewed as an act of absolute madness, as a declaration of war by the French and the Americans. Africa is the source of the world's natural resources. If Traoré's technique succeeds, if he stops exporting cheap raw minerals, but instead sells expensive finished products, many other countries will inevitably follow this model. This means that global buyers, the corporations in New York and London, will have to purchase African resources at significantly higher prices, directly supporting African economies instead of draining them. The French and Americans fear a revolution, a domino effect across the entire continent, where Africans finally understand the true value of their resources and stop giving them away practically for free. This is the root cause of the constant coup attempts targeting Traoré. This is why there have been multiple assassination plots. Even those who protect him are not ordinary security personnel. If you want to know more about them and the 6 elite units involved in Traoré's personal protection, watch the video we made on that specific topic. The link is in the description. If this gold processing strategy succeeds in Burkina Faso, it will immediately cause other major producers, like Ghana, one of the top 10 gold producers in the entire world, to begin processing their gold domestically as well. This would immediately affect global commodity markets and corporate profit margins. This is exactly why Traoré is not appreciated by powerful interests in the Western world. As one analyst put it, in Burkina Faso, they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, all those proceeds are just being extracted in exchange to protect the regime. But now that's changing. Now let's discuss the real question. How much chance do you think these projects have of ending peacefully for Traoré? Do you think he can survive the pressure? Do you think France will allow this to continue? Give us your honest thoughts in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you continue receiving extraordinary content like this that reveals what's really happening in Africa. If you want to learn even more about Traoré's incredible journey, click on the video you see on your screen right now. It is also very good. I know you will absolutely love it. Let's catch up there.